I'm going to do a reasonably short live right now because I wanted to share some of the processing I did since the incident at the liquor store today. And so when I came home, I did a quick live, which I shared. And then in that live, I had mentioned that, that I could feel that there was adrenaline involved in what I went through. And so I asked myself in that moment, how do I manage the effects that the adrenaline from working through that situation and how hard that was? I bring that back to peace. Now, part of me thought, well, I'm going to Google what to do if you've had a situation that triggered adrenaline, and how do you bring that back quickly and positively and bring it back to peace. But then I thought, no, something told me I have the answers inside me. And that I already know. And so I started to think, okay, you could take a warm bath. You could have a cup of chamomile tea, and you're practicing your breathing. Meditation. Well, I chose to have a bath because the heat is something that when I have a bath and I have the heat and the lights off, and then I have one of my agates that I found underneath a light lighting up in different colors. That's one of the best things I do for healing my brain, and the best thing I do for a reset. There's other things, but so I did that for, I think, about 45 minutes. And then I just hit a point where I can tell, I feel good, and sometimes I'm in the tub for 2 hours when I'm really struggling, and just keep putting the hot water on but it took about 45 minutes, and I got out of the tub, and it's like, wow, I feel reset. Because after adrenaline, you can kind of crash and feel extremely tired. And so I'm not a real fan of adrenaline. I try to avoid it at all costs. But with the mental health challenges I have with the brain injuries and the autism and dyslexia, I can't remember what I was saying. That happens to me a lot. Okay, so I got out of the tub, and I'm feeling very calm and relaxed. And then I thought, well, I'm going to sit and I'm going to do a reading and ask, what do I need to know about this situation? So that's another thing I do to relax, is I'll read tarot. And it helps you sort your feelings out. And I've got a number of other things I'm going to do as well. But in this moment, okay, start it with my bath, read a little bit of tarot. I have to take my medication at 7. And then, and this is good because this is time for getting ready for bed. And so being peaceful And being peaceful and calm is part of having a good sleep. If you allow yourself to remain in that state of adrenaline without realizing, okay, yeah, it's like the cop said, the police said, it's over. So you come home and then, yeah, you're making it, how do you keep your health? And so I had a bath. Now I'm going to read some tarot. I've got other things I'm going to do as well. But for tonight, because right now it's about focusing on quality sleep and also moving out of that energy. Now, it's not that energy is not going to come back, because the lady said that she'll be pressing charges. But in this moment, I've got things that I have responsibilities and my life that I'm going to be working on. Well, I'm always working on. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you. So I sat here and I pulled, what I meant to do is pull a card for this deck, pull a card for this deck. These are all 3 different decks. But this one, a number of cards came out. And so that happens sometimes. And so I just want to go over the reading, because I was asking Spirit to help me understand or give me some guidance. And so what's interesting is the first 2 cards I pulled, and they're both from different decks, was the first 2 cards I pulled, but I put them back in, was the Justice card, and then I got the Death card. And then but I was still shuffling, and I put it back in. And then I did a reading from, I thought, well, I'm going to listen to, what's his name? Chosen 144, and he does tarot readings on YouTube. So I listened, and I just pulled out the Justice card, and beside it, and then I pulled out the Death card. I got a call coming in, but I'll respond to it later. So I put both of them back in the deck. Yeah, actually I put them both back in the deck, and I reshuffled again. This one did come up again. But when I thought, I'm going to watch Chosen 144 do a reading, because he's just an amazing person and just an excellent reader. I learned lots from him in his readings. And you know what? The first 2 cards he pulled, the first 2 cards he pulled was the Justice card and the Death card. And I was like, okay, that's a confirmation. Now, this is what I got. So I did get this one again. The Death card didn't come up again the second time, but it did come up. And right beside each other in Chosen 144's reading, it was the Justice and the Death card. And he was saying what that means is something is over. Okay, so now what I got, and the first 2 cards I pulled was the 6 of Swords in reverse. Yes, I read in both upright and reverse, and I've learned about, from the 78 cards in the tarot deck, I know each card has about 4 different meanings upright, 4 different meanings reversed, and then what cards come with it. And that's, and so, and because I read in reverse, so I have well over 400 meanings. And so when I say 400 meanings, it's like, let's just say I got the 7 of Cups in the upright position. That tells me a lot, but the cards that are around it can tell me which of the 4 meanings that I understand in the upright meaning does it apply to for this card. And so the first 2 cards I pulled was the 6 of Swords in reverse. And with my relationship with the tarot, I view that as it's not the right time to leave a difficult situation, or it's the coast is not clear. And I got that card, then that card, and then I got that card. And this card here is a six of pentacles in reversed. And I read that card as in the reversed, it can mean that your purse or wallet has been stolen. And so, well, that kind of makes sense because I just lost $30, where anywhere else I've gone to return something, people trusted me, and I always either got my money back or in exchange on the product. So I just got $30 stolen from me. Okay, so that makes sense. This could mean that it's not the right time to leave a difficult situation, or the coast is not clear, which may mean that she's pressing charges. And then down here, underneath it, well, both of these cards here, I got the Two of Swords below it. And this means, so you see the person is crossing their arms over their chest, so they're in a protection mode. So what that is for me, and what it's saying is like, okay, so the RCMP officer said, okay, this is over. And so now what I do is I go within. You see her, she's blindfolded, and if you look really closely, you see her hair's parted at there, and that's her third eye. And so what it's saying to me is, okay, so the RCMP officer says it's over. So now I cross my hands over my chest. That's a protective mode. But but you're not reacting, you're not doing anything. You're just waiting to see what's going to happen. And it's like a truce. So this card is like a truce. And so you're going within, and you're looking at you're looking for the messages. So when you go to bed at night, what are you dreaming? Are there subtle messages during the day that you receive? And it's quiet listening for answers. So you will find the answers within. Okay? And then underneath, okay, so that was underneath the first Six of Swords. And then underneath the second Six of Swords, I got Justice. And it's in the upright position. So I like that. So what that means in the upright position, and how I read that card in the upright position, is that this judge is honorable. If you receive this card in the reverse, the judge is not honorable. So this is a decision. In this way, it can be a decision going in your favor, or let's just say, okay, so say she presses charges, but the judge is a good person and just not trying to sling mud. So in the upright position, this is showing that I can trust them, and so can the lady that's pressing charges, that this person is sitting and they are honorable. And you've got St. Michael the Archangel. That's 14th. That's the Temperance card right beside the judge. Now, this could be male or female. This is female energy, but it could be a male with female energy. So the judge shows female energy, but it could be a male judge as well. And then underneath here, we got the High Priestess. And she's the keeper of secrets and the conduit between our earthly realm and the spiritual realm. And so I love her. She's my favorite. One of my favorites. I love the Six of Wands as well. That's my favorite. One of my favorite cards. But I also really love this girl. Now in reverse, it could mean hidden secrets that need to be let out. But she's in an honorable position. She's in the upright position. not fully understanding, is that the judge? Is that me? I'm not fully feeling what the answer to that right now. So I don't just make it up, and I actually, if I can't feel what the answer is, I don't make it up. I have to feel it inside. Now, I feel that this card here I can relate to as being me, as being a pillar in your community. You're a mental health advocate. Well, this is family and weddings, but it also shows like this is in the upright position. It can also, one of the meanings of this card, from how I interpreted it, it is to be a pillar in your community. And so I'm feeling myself in this. I feel myself here, but I'm not feeling a positive feeling of whether that's the judge or whether that's me or a little bit of both. Now, when we come back over here, okay, so like I said, now this one here, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, has 4 different meanings to me, but because of how this experience has been and how the card's laid out, this card is interpreted as you've had your purse or wallet stolen. And now underneath that card is the 7 of Cups. And now this guy here is like the magician. So everything in front of him are possibilities and ideas. And nothing is actually real. It's all just ideas. So here's this cup here. We have like Saint Michael. This is what is hidden. Now this here is, I'm going to go, hang on. I want to go a little closer on that card. Okay. So on this card here, it's Saint Michael. And then this is the divine spirit of God, but it's also what is hidden, what can you see. Now this here with the snake, what that cup represents, from how I perceive in the tarot, is, okay, so you have the snake coming out of the cup, and now that means a flattery, or so is what somebody's saying, just something that is, so say maybe somebody's sweet talking you and they're just saying such wonderful things, but really they're just planning, they need something from you, and their compliments or their words, are they really sincere, or, what are they up to? So they could be completely sincere, or they could be just smooth talking, trying to get something from you. And over here is the fantasy castle. So these are a possibility. And here is riches. And then you have victory. So everything that happened. Now I'm a mental health advocate. I'm a pillar in my community. But right now, where everything kind of sits, there's your victory wreath. But if you look a little bit closer, there's a skeleton on there. So it's asking you, yeah, is this a victory, or is there something hitting that you're not seeing? And so everything is just sort of what's going on. And then over here you have the dragon with the forked tongue. And he is now what you are hearing, lie or truth. Okay, so it's like I said, the lady at the liquor store, she kept changing her story. And so, and just with the organized bullying that involves the RCMP and what I've experienced in the medical field, this is why I record all the time now, because now, we need to trust this person over here, the judge. And I'm like in the position of this judge because she's in the upright. Could be a guy, but this is honorable. But I video record now so that because that lady at the liquor store, she just kept making up her story as she went, and then you got the police, And I already know how that was going to unfold, right? I knew how the whole thing was going to unfold. I knew. So when she said I wouldn't leave the store, I said I either want a refund or my money back. And then I said I'll leave the store when the RCMP get here, because I know, like the RCMP said, okay, I'm not going to arrest you. But I knew that he couldn't arrest me unless I knew once he got there and said, okay, you need to leave the store, you're going to have to leave without your money. He didn't say that part. Then I knew it. That I knew. And I told the lady I'll leave when the RCMP gets here and tells me to leave, because I know that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to show up. He's going to say you have to leave, and then I walk out with him, and that's the moment that I'll walk out of your store. So, but even the RCMP officer said stop recording me, and I said I won't, because just even what happened in the store, and that lady, when she's talking to the police and telling, and she changed her story. She just making up this fictional story to the police, well, partially true and partially fiction. And then when she said the police are coming. Then even when she'd intermittently talk to me, she would just flip off and on like a light bulb. She would just keep changing. Yeah, I'll give you your money back, she'd say, or I'll do an exchange. And I said, okay, well, will you do an exchange, or will you do an exchange, or I'll turn off this video? But you were just very rude and very snotty. I just wanted an exchange. I cannot make medicine from a bottle that the seal is broken on. And so then I have to now the judge has the police officer that whatever he says, she's going to believe him. Right now, I know this, and this is why I video record. This is not my first rodeo. And this is why I record, because it's what you are hearing liar the truth, right? And but I was not willing. I understood the principle that it would be better to lose $30 than just let her say, no, I'll keep your $30. Get out of the store. Okay, well, I'll just thank Costco right now for always treating me well. I'm going to thank Sally's Girl for always trusting me as a customer. And I've had to return things. Amazon is amazing. I've never had a problem with Amazon or Costco. I'm just so used to being treated with respect. But this is not my first rodeo, so I know how she was spinning the story, and even how the cop was like, no, I'm not turning off this. And I made mistakes. Like I was working, okay, so yeah, frontal lobe challenge going on here. But I acknowledged that right away and just said, do the best you can, do the best you can. That's all I kept saying. And I did really good. I'm happy with the results, and I'm going to be going over the video that happened over several times, and I'm going to be analyzing it, and I'm going to be asking myself, what could I have done differently? Okay, so yes, she's lying. Yes, it's not very nice not to give me my money back or exchange. That's not very nice. Okay, but now I'm going to go in there, because as a mental health advocate, I want to learn to be a better speaker. I want to learn to better frontal lobe think. And so today I was presented with, okay, I'm struggling with the frontal lobe, but right away I knew what I was up against. And I just told myself, keep thinking as logically. And yes, it's scary. Yes, you want to cry. Okay, but just don't cry, don't frontal lobe think, and try to just stick to the logic. So I'm going to be going over and over that video, and I'm going to be I'm going to be learning on what I did right. I'm going to look at what I did right and what I could do differently next time. Because life is full of challenges. So if you say, oh, I'm just gonna, it's never gonna happen. Yeah, life, we always, it can go smooth for 2 months or so, and then something comes forward. Now, how do I manage that? And what do I like about how I manage this situation? And how will I manage that situation differently? And this is this card here. So this is me. So this would be the magician and going, okay, looking at, now if this card in the reverse just means absolute, it can be chaos. What you see is not what you get. And so I'm in the upright position, meaning I handled it fairly good, but not perfectly. And so now what am I going to do so that I can learn from this experience as a mental health advocate? And what can I repeat in that, which was good, and what will I change about how I was standing up for my rights? Yeah, because everybody has the same rights. So I'll be looking, was there anything within that where I didn't respect somebody else's rights? And I'm going to be reviewing that video over and over again, but so this card here, it means it's not the right time to leave a difficult situation. And also, the coast is not clear, which could mean repercussions, meaning, yeah, she'll press charges. But somehow there's an honorable person that's going to be sorting through this. That's a possibility if it goes through. This is beautiful energy here. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, and so I've got other things I'm going to do. So I've brought my piece down. I'm going to go lie down now. No, I'm going to eat. I got to eat right now because I try not to eat past 7, so that I'm not going to bed with food in my stomach. Okay, I got 10 minutes to eat. I better go. Okay. And that's one of the first things I'm doing right now, just to recover from the adrenaline rush. I did a reading, and just to share on a mental health level things. So I had a bath, I did a reading, and it just relaxes you. And so it just shared a couple things I did to bounce back from the adrenaline that was involved in managing all that. Okay. I'll turn the video off with this lovely energy here. It's also going to show that energy up there. But I think let's even show that. No, I like St. Michael in there. Okay.